Peace and high frequencies, everybody. Blackfit Witch. Um, the Tyre Nichols situation and devastating death of Tyre Nichols from those inhumane energies. I don't even know what to call them. They were just inhumane people. They weren't human at all to do someone like that. Has weighed heavy here on the people of Memphis. Of course, you all know I live here in Memphis. I know the exact street where Tyre Nichols lost his life on here in East Memphis. And those officers, if you watch the video, you see how the officers just, after they beat him brutally, repeatedly, and I worked in the school system, y'all. I'm going to tell y'all this. I've worked in the school system. I was in the school system for 6.5 years. I worked all age groups. I've even worked in the collegiate level. And I have seen how these gang unit police officers talk to students. If you had your eyes closed, I was telling my guy the other day, if you had your eyes closed and you were listening to the conversation, you would know the difference between a student in the streets and the gang unit police officer. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference. So I know it's been a lot of conversations that I know that adults have been having about it and how we feel. But today, and this is why I love my job so much. It's not even a job. It's so amazing. We got to talk to the boys and girls in the community about their emotions and how they feel. And we introduced them to a drum circle. We all gathered around, and I'll post a link of the video on here. But we all gathered around in a drum circle, and we had a couple of the elders from the community, and one of them is a musician, very famous musician, and he was actually drumming at the memorial today for Tyre Nichols. And he was talking to the children about drumming and how drumming is healing. And drumming is also a language of how we have connected, how we were able to free ourselves from slavery through drumming. How it's a language, like we understand what different beats on the drum is actually saying to someone else. That's how we were able to escape from slavery. So the elders were sharing with, children from elementary all the way up to college age today in this drum circle. And each one of us, it was a huge drum circle, had to be about 20 children. And each one of them had their own djembe. And that's the drum that you hold between your knees and your legs. And each one of them had a djembe. And he played, and then he played the kalumba as well. And we got to go into meditation, but he was talking to them about how do they process, how did they feel about what happened to Tyre, communicating their emotions, and then how do they deal with being angry, and then also how do they relieve any frustrations, and then what do they do when they want to switch the vibe. Some of them were talking about music and video games and just, talking about something else. But how do you do that? So something that was really powerful that he shared was this. We got to look at all parts of the brain, y'all. And so the frontal, the parietal, the temporal, the occipital, the brainstem, and the cerebellum. And we looked at how each one of these parts of the brain is connected in drumming. And it talks about mindfulness and drumming. And so we went through a meditation with the drums and with the kalumba. And two of the elders just was magnificent on how they connected with these children, because the biggest thing is that we'll talk and say how we feel, but what's going on in the mindset of these young children that sing this? What are they feeling like?
A little bit about why we're here. We want to hear from whoever wants to speak and talk, but I'm going to set it up by allowing us to just drum just for a minute. We kind of open up our spirit for a minute, kind of let you kind of feel what it's like. So anybody know what this drum is called? You got it already. It's a djembe. Djembe. Say djembe. 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 Begins with a D, so it's a little unique.
So I wanted to share this with you all and just talk about some things about drumming, because not just drumming with the djembe, but we will hear the beats and the drums in music, in the beats of the rap music that children listen to, and the R&B, all these various artists that are out here. There's a certain frequency that the drum actually puts out into the ear, and that vibration, like he said, the vibration of the drum mimics the vibration of your throat chakra. And as you hear these different vibrations through your ear, and so crazy, I had this conversation yesterday with my guy. I was talking to him about this. Music evokes a type of energy within you. You know, he told me this. He said he'll listen to a certain frequency when he plays basketball. He'll listen to a certain frequency when he just wants to relax and chill. We have different music that we listen to, which are different frequencies when we want to feel a certain way. And so he was talking about tonight with the drumming circle. The elder was saying how drumming accesses the entire brain. This rhythm is such a powerful tool. It permeates the entire brain, and so it takes you into natural altered states of consciousness, creates a sense of connectedness with self and others, provides a secular approach to accessing a higher power, releases negative feelings, blockages, and emotional trauma. This is what we were doing with the children tonight for a good hour and a half of going through this. Because outside of us talking about how inhumane it was of them to beat him and beat him to death, what are we teaching and how are we teaching our children to release frustration and anger? It was so beautiful that one of the elders even shared that going over to Ghana and Gambia, there is no violence. We're not killing each other. That is a construct that has been created here through the government and through the program and through music and media and all the rest of the things. We are a natural loving people. And just being able to share this with children as young as 5 and 6 years old and as old as 19 and 20 years old, these children who may not have the knowledge base, because these are inner city children who may not have the connection to an awakened elder in their family, an aunt or uncle or grandmother. They may not have this information. So we were able to give them an outlet in a safe space to share. So if you don't know much about drumming, this was a really powerful tool that we used tonight for the children. But how are you, besides just having conversation, and it's easy and good to come on here and just talk about on any platform, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and just talk about what's going on and how you feel and what is going on. But how are we connecting to those who are affected as well, which is our young children, which are the targets? How are we teaching them how to relieve their stress and their anger and their frustration with them being a target? And what does that look like for them? So it just felt good to be able to give back tonight, to share with these children things that they can do outside of getting on video games and playing Grand Theft Auto or listening to NBA Youngboy. But giving them something tangible and meaningful of accessing a higher power. And one little boy learned tonight. He asked, he said, how do you use the drum? How did they use the drums to get out of slavery? How did they do that? And the elder gave him such a powerful answer. And this is what we have to get back to. Teaching our children the ways that we use our power that's not in a negative way. Because like he said, we can use music to heal or to kill, because it is a vibration and it is a frequency. So I just wanted to share that with you. I want you to look up more information on this. Of course, talk to your children about how they're feeling with everything that's going on. And of course, I leave you in peace and high frequencies, everybody.